My name is Darius Choonya. You're watching Behind the Story.
Former President Edgar Lungu's burial case has been adjourned indefinitely in the Pretoria High Court. This follows the Lungu family's application for leave to appeal the decision of the Pretoria High Court that ordered the repatriation of Mr. Lungu's body in Zambia for a state funeral. The Lungu family and the Zambian government have failed to resolve the matter relating to his repatriation, and this has caused the Pretoria High Court to adjourn the matter in the end, pending an application that the Lungu family has filed before the Constitutional Court of South Africa.
Has since filed an application for leave for direct access in the Constitutional Court, and on those bases the parties have agreed to allow the Constitutional Court process to unfold, and in the circumstances we have agreed that by agreement between the parties that this application for leave to appeal be postponed sine die. And there's no mention insofar as the question of cost is concerned.
Former First Lady Esther Lungu, in an affidavit that has been filed before the Constitutional Court, has argued that no one should be compelled to bury their loved one according to the dictate of the state.
Well, when we received the news that former Republican President Edgar Lungu had died on the 5th of June 2025, I think there was divided attention to the story, divided reaction to the story, and also emotions, because by then the people were waiting for a credible media house to break the news that former Republican President Edgar Lungu had died. It was breaking news then, and you know that as a credible media organization, you need to verify information before it goes on air. And that's what we basically did. We organized ourselves as the newsroom. We had to identify a person who needed to go on the ground to break the news that Mr. Edgar Lungu had died. We had to call our sources to get the truth. And that's what we basically did on the 5th of June 2025. Reporters went on the ground, and I think my colleague Elfie Mwale Shampande is the one who went to the Patriotic Front Secretariat, and there were people that are supporters of the opposition PF that ushered Mr. Edgar Lungu into power in the year 2015, 2016 up to 2021, when he lost an election to the now President Hakainde Hichilema. And there we were at the Secretariat. We broke the news. It was live as news on the go. And many people were watching at the time that Diamond TV broke the news. And I'm saying at the time that Diamond TV broke the news because we were not the only ones that had posted the news on the demise of former President Edgar Lungu. There were other media houses that had the story, and they had posted on their socials. But people waited for Diamond TV because we are the most trusted, factual and credible media organization. And when we broke the news, a lot of people then believed that former President Edgar Lungu had died. A turning moment, I should make mention, because remember, here is a person who politically was active after losing the 2021 general election. He decided to, contest again or to be re-elected, but the Constitutional Court disqualified him. Despite that, he still told people that he had a plan B, and that plan B was that with or without the judgment of the Constitutional Court, he would be on the ballot paper or in the year 2026 as the country goes to the 2026 general election. So it was not just a former head of state who had died, but it was also a strong opposition leader who had died in President Edgar Lungu. The interesting part was that personally, as a senior journalist, a senior reporter at Diamond TV in the newsroom, I was happy to be part of the story, because I'm the one who, was covering this story when it went to court. And like you have said, we had to travel to South Africa so that we are able to give whoever was following this story, our viewers that were following this story, timely news on the go. But the most difficult part, again, was on how we are going to tell this particular story, because it's a high-profile case. We needed to be very, careful on what we say. We needed to ensure that whatever we say is factual and verified. And so when the first day, rather, that the matter came up before court on the 25th of June 2025, we were expecting that there will be finality on this particular matter between the two parties. That did not happen. And there was disappointment from those that had traveled all the way to go and bury, or to be part of those that will be mourners to bury former President Edgar Lungu in South Africa. Remember that on the 25th of June 2025, it was a date that the Lungu family had set to bury Mr. Edgar Lungu, but the state funeral, or not the state funeral, but the funeral church service was cut short. It was actually halted pending the conclusion of a legal action that the Zambian government took, in which they were seeking the repatriation of former President Edgar Lungu. So we had to stay a little longer for a new date to be, set for the court matter. And the new date was set. Parties sat, they argued. On that day again, on the 8th of August 2025, the judgment was delivered after both parties made their submissions, and it was ordered that the Lungu family needed to surrender the body of Mr. Edgar Lungu to the Zambian government for a state funeral here in Zambia. So the body needed to be repatriated, but the Lungu family were not happy with the decision of the lower court. They made an application for appeal. When that day came for the application to be heard, which was on the 15th of August 2025, they had requested, or they requested rather, the court that the matter be adjourned because the two parties were talking, the Zambian government and the Lungu family. Again, I should make mention that when we heard that, we thought that this is the end of the case. Mr. Lungu's burial site has already been resolved, or issues surrounding his burial site had already been resolved. But come 18th August 2025, it didn't happen. The Lungu family decided to file an application before the Constitutional Court, which is currently pending, and it halted the repatriation process. It also halted the orders that were earlier said by the lower court, which is the Pretoria High Court. Basically, that's where we are on this particular matter, with so much hope that maybe before August, there will be finality and Mr. Lungu will be put to rest.